Well, welcome. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. I'm here with my show Mark Cook. We've had a very impactful morning.
It has been impactful, yes. That's absolutely how I would describe it as well.
We've covered a lot of stuff this morning.
We have.
So we're going to continue with an impactful morning with Donna Wood from Health Haven.
Right.
I got it right.
No, you didn't.
No, it's wood.
It's just
no
wood.
bed.
It's not woods.
Just want to meet here.
Yeah, right?
Wood, okay.
She's not plural. It's just Donna. Come on.
So Donna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, tell our listeners out there, what is Health Haven?
Well, Health Haven, we're a full-service retail health food store. We carry a full line of supplements, herbal tinctures, essential oils, really anything that you would need in order to live a healthy lifestyle. We have a healthy pet section, natural cleaning products, a full line of refrigerated and frozen goods, natural body care, and a great staff to help you
Awesome.
navigate through all of that too.
Yeah.
And we also have a cafe.
And you have a cafe. Now, how in the world did you get involved in this?
That's interesting. April 1st, we'll be starting our 34th year in business.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah. And every day I'm so thankful just to be a woman and being able to own her own business because, in a lot of places around the world, that's not possible. So I never take that for granted. I was like in my 20s when we first opened up. So, like most people, I had a degree in women's studies. What the heck was I going to do with that? Just started working for minimum wage in a local health food store and just had a passion for it and just went on from there and then started my own business. And now we've just expanded to a second store.
Well,
I thought I was
good.
retiring, by the way, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else had other plans,
Well,
huh?
that's what I say now. You make plans and God laughs. He said no. We need you around, not longer.
First off, congratulations on
Yeah,
34 years.
34
years.
That is impressive and quite amazing. Because Health Haven has survived a lot of the other bigger companies coming in and trying to take some of their market share.
Right.
And the reason that Health Haven has been able to stay successful is because you're unique. You're not like the other big ones that I'm not even going to mention by name.
Right.
You have a cafe. You have consultations one-on-one with your clients to come in to really make sure that all of the supplements they want to take work with their existing medicines. And it's a careful process that you go through with your customers and your clients that is kind of that local touch that I don't think some of the bigger guys can give. So tell us why are you unique and how have you been able to survive for 34 years?
Well, no, I think exactly what you're saying. I mean, first of all, I have a terrific staff, and I would not be where I am without such great employees. And they all have a passion for what they do. And a lot of times when people come and apply for jobs, it's because they have an interest in this field. Maybe they have some medical problems themselves, which they're kind of exploring some different options. So we all kind of have our little niche too. Like I'll have, some employees that are into bodybuilding. So we also learn from each other too. And I think our whole thing, I've always said to all of my employees, it's all about people over profits, solution over sales. We are really there to help educate people. We want them to choose the best product for them. And a lot of times we say to people, if you're not successful, we're not successful.
Right.
So, we have a policy, you can bring anything back. Now, I think sometimes some retailers say that. Like if you came in the store and I went, oh, if it doesn't work, bring it back.
They say it, they don't mean it.
Right. What we say, and we expand upon that, we say, look, everybody's body's different. What might work for me might not work well for you. I mean, we're trying to steer you towards the best product. We're a small store. People come back and let us know what works, believe me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's the other, I think, plus that we have is that people do come back and say, this product was really great, or this product didn't work for me, that, that chewable didn't taste good. We can't try everything ourselves, so we really do rely, on our customers. So, again, we'll say to someone, if you didn't have success with this, bring it back, let us know, how you were feeling taking it, and now let's try to find something else for you. And I think when you expand upon that, they know that you're genuinely interested in helping them get the right product, because that's what it's all about.
Right.
You know, a lot of times people say to me, you know, does this work? Does this really work? And I'll go, well, I wouldn't be in business for 34 years. The whole idea is to sell more things than people are bringing back.
Right,
Right.
right, yeah, well,
Right, absolutely.
you know, you really, you touched on a pretty interesting thing that I think a lot of business owners lose sight of, and it was people over process or product. It was service over sales.
Right.
And that philosophy, what that lends to profits, and that lends to sales, because you're focusing on the right things rather than the wrong things. And I imagine that when people bring a product back, it's something where then you get to spring into action, right, and make it right. And you probably, the fact that you give your staff such wonderful praise tells me that you're doing something right. You've been around for 34 years, okay, so you probably got the right model there, that your clients feel comfortable coming back and saying, you know, Donna, we talked about this, I thought this was going to help, and it didn't.
Right.
So take us through some of that process. Like, how do you determine, is it really just listening to the people and trying to determine, do you try to get more medical history? What's the deal?
Well, again, when people, you know, I think we get so few returns, to be honest with you, because we take the time initially
Right.
to talk to people. Like, we'll say, let's take sleep, because that's one area, I'm not kidding you, we must have like 20 different products for sleeping, and every single product, I can tell you, somebody said, oh, please don't run out of this. This is the only thing that works.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, and I'm here with Mark Cook, and we are here with our guest, Donna Wood from Health Haven. No S's,
Right.
no S's. Well, we could put S's, like it's
Yeah, right.
more than one store. So, for you listeners and viewers that are just tuning in, we were talking with Donna about Health Haven. You know, and some of the products were there. You know, now you had mentioned sleep aids.
Right.
Now, I just want to make sure that people understand these are holistic type medicines.
Right. I think there's a lot that you can do initially to help with different conditions that maybe you're dealing with. Like, for instance, calcium and magnesium, which are nutrients that you need. Magnesium in particularly is very relaxing to your nervous system. And a lot of times I'll tell women that, you know, you need calcium anyway for your bones, and you need the magnesium in order for your body to absorb and utilize it. So taking calcium and magnesium at night before you go to bed can help you sleep better. There's also a lot of reasons why people can't sleep, and sometimes we talk to them about that. If you have a lot of anxiety during the day, then it's harder for you to sleep at night. If you have blood sugar issues where you're getting up because you're hungry, that we might approach that differently. But all of the things that we have, whether they're all either what's called herbal remedies that have been used for thousands of years, homeopathic remedies which have been used for hundreds of years, but we still talk to people and say, you know, are you on medications? Or are you under a doctor's care? We always suggest that people check with their doctors, particularly when they're on a lot of medications. And unfortunately, there's been such an increase in the amount of pharmaceuticals that are being, I used to, you know, people used to come in, they used to tell me 2 things that they took, and I was like, oh, okay, I know those things really well.
Right.
Now, even with my counseling, I ask people to give me a list of what they're taking before they come in, because a lot of times I have to research these things.
Right.
There's so much stuff.
Right, exactly.
You touched on a really interesting point because, you know, as the industry changes and evolves and all that stuff, you talk about an issue like sleeping. There could be a million different reasons why a person isn't sleeping. Some could be physical, some could be emotional, some could be mental.
Right.
There's a lot of different reasons. So part of what you guys do over at Health Haven is that you offer a real counseling service, a real one-on-one with your clients and your customers to really identify the roots of the issues and then to determine what's going to be the proper course of action. So on top of being so knowledgeable about all of the products that you have and all this stuff, you're also a little bit of a detective too, huh?
Right. Well, you know, it's so funny. Well, we were talking about sleep, but energy is a big one. Someone will come in and say to me, I'm tired all the time, what do you have? And kind of like smiling, I'll say, well, the short-term answer is have a cup of coffee.
Right.
But why are you tired? I mean, again, you might be tired because you're not sleeping well at night. You might be tired because you have a lot of anxiety during the day.
Could be your diet.
Right. You might be tired because you're not eating supportively and your blood sugar levels are up and down and all over the place. You might be tired because maybe your body is dealing with, like people have chronic sinus infections, people that have chronic immune system disorders. It's like their systems are on high the whole time. It's like this.
Right.
Well, you know, with your body prioritizes, it can only deal with so much, and sometimes it just gets overloaded. And so just to sell them a bottle that says like energy on there.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, we have those things, to be honest
course.
with you, because that's why people drink Red Bulls and all
Right,
those
the
things.
5-hour
Right.
energies and right.
But we're looking more towards a longer-term solution,
right.
and try to get, again, it's all about getting to the root of the problem and saying, you know, you should feel energetic during the day.
Right.
Your body wants to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I tell people we just have to get out of our own way.
Yeah, and it's a difference between looking for an actual solution versus the quick fix.
Right.
We are such a quick fix society. Everything we do.
The Excedrin generation. I call it.
Exactly. It's
Take
all
2
it needs
pills.
to be the real quick rather than finding a real solution, and people don't realize that quick fix a lot of times causes more problems than it actually helps.
Right. Because the caffeine crash is
Exactly.
the worst.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like right now, like, you know.
You ready for another cup?
I'm ready for another cup because I feel myself kind of crashing. You
Right.
know, I mean, I might be falling asleep a little bit.
Well, I'll try to keep you awake.
Okay. No, I'm going to come over to your store and I want to get something, you know. But, you know, like, because, like, bee pollen is supposed to be helpful with your, because we had a beekeeper on a couple weeks ago.
Right. Well, that's why we sell a lot of local honey. I mean, I think we must sell 24, 25 jars of local honey.
Well, honey is hot right now.
Right.
Honey
You
is
know,
hot.
but they
That's-
call it when they get on that superfood list.
Right.
You know, I think it's a conspiracy maybe between the beekeepers, but
know.
but honey is really hot because honey does have so many health benefits, and what they've
Right.
realized is that the local honey is more nutrient rich than some of the processed honey that we're
And also
traditionally
you have the
used
local
to.
pollens in there that
Right.
helps build up your immunities
Yeah.
to
To
the-
your local
the-
allergens,
Right,
right?
exactly.
That's really,
Right.
and that's really cool. Like the beekeeper that was on last week, he has this blueberry honey that from the blueberry nectar right in this local area. You might even work with them. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and that's the other thing. We also are always on the lookout to carry local vendors. We have a woman that makes a healing balm who lives in Lumberton and grows her own herbs. We have another woman who lives in Moorestown and makes a product for nursing mothers. So, you know, we're always on the lookout to try to support the local
That's
vendors
great.
and people that are making things with local products in the area, because I think that's a big thing too, is about the community connection.
Well,
Well-
we have local mud that we had
Yeah.
yesterday for a baseball,
baseball
roll-up.
mud.
Oh,
But he says he uses it. Maybe we
On
want
his
to
face,
some.
no, yeah, tell him to
He
give
says
me a
it
call.
tightens his face up and everything right here.
Yeah.
And
Well, the way you kind of just talked about the locality, and you want to make sure that everything is very tight knit. You guys have cafes in your stores, which is a little bit of a different dynamic than
Right.
than the traditional vitamin place or whatever.
Right.
So what are you guys selling in the cafes? What do you guys have over there?
Well, we have a cafe in our Hainesport store, not in our Moorestown store, because our Hainesport store is 3,100 square feet, and our Moorestown store is a little bit less than 500 square feet.
Okay.
But, you
A little
know,
bit of a size difference,
yeah, but we
but-
just opened up there in May, and who knows, if we do really well, maybe we'll move to a larger location,
Right.
have the cafe there. So our cafe, we try to keep it primarily vegetarian. We've changed over the years as interest has. Like right now, I'm looking into carrying more of a paleo, some paleo entrees, because that's important right now.
paleo. What do you mean?
Paleo is more how we ate years ago, so it's more of a like a meat-based diet as opposed to a plant-based diet. Well, we can get into a whole other thing about
Yeah.
different diets, like
Yeah.
you know, the paleo and Atkins. And
You just opened a huge
Right,
can of worms,
right,
Donna.
Right, gluten-free. So
Okay.
I'd be more than happy to come back and talk about
Absolutely.
I think my question really specifically was, is the cafe somewhere where I should come for lunch or a meal, or is it more of a muffin or some
No,
sort of
we-
healthy alternative
that. Right.
to
So
breakfast?
we carry veggie burgers, which we serve with our special Health Haven salad, which is a combination. That's our most popular thing, is our Health Haven salad. Combination of lettuces and cabbages and carrots. I kind of call it the rainbow salad. We have a special nut topping that we're known for over the years. And you can also get that salad with, like I said, we make a brown rice pilaf, a 3-grain pilaf. We make a vegetarian pizza. Trying to think of all the things.
You have a
on
huge
the-
menu. Is
well,
the point?
We
It's
have about 15 different things, but
it's pretty good.
right. We try to just do a few things and do it really well.
Yeah.
That's good.
And
And,
it sounds really cool because the dynamic that I would love a lot of the business professionals to follow through on would be on your lunch break, go and talk to Donna, get what you need to help you live a better life, and then grab something to eat right there. You're already on your lunch break. It's
and you know,
perfect.
it's also economical, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of our entrees are, I don't think there's anything more expensive than $10. So it all ranges in from $6 to $10. And what I find is, most people need to eat every day for lunch. And, sometimes we get the people where, Monday they go to McDonald's, Tuesday they go to
Right.
pizza, Wednesday go to Chinese, Thursday they come to Health Haven. I think you have to make the food that it looks familiar to people, and it's a good way for, a lot of times people come in because they've heard about our lunches, but then once they come in and they get to know us, and they'll say, sometimes they'll come in like, once a week for like 3 months, just go right to the cafe
Right.
and leave. And then we'll be like, oh, you know what? I kind of have been having some problems sleeping. What do
Right.
you have? So it's a good way for them to get to know us in an atmosphere that's, they get to see us and hear us.
There's so many benefits to it. We could talk about the business side of it as well,
Right.
because it does. It lends to a lot of cross marketing and
Right.
cross promotion and stuff like that to have. Really for me, I always look for cheap, healthy alternatives, and I find that everybody's trying to beat you over the head with eating healthy,
Right.
eating healthy, and they don't give me the opportunity to have a fast, quick, cheap, affordable, good, healthy meal.
Right.
And that's what you guys are doing over there.
Right. And and on the flip side of this, like you said, we can talk another time about business. So some of our lunches are heated in a microwave. And to be honest with you, we get a lot of flack for that
Right.
because we're using a microwave. But I say, look, it's all about baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I call ourselves Nick Haven. Like, we're
Right.
still dealing with the people that have a half hour for lunch or 45 minutes for lunch. It takes them 15 minutes to get to us, 15 minutes to get
Mhm.
back. And you have to be able to prepare something for them that's quick.
Right.
So, it's not a perfect scenario, and I understand that, but I always tell people we have other things that we don't have to use the microwave for.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a situation where, yes, I need to use a microwave to warm it up, but this
Right.
wasn't a frozen item.
Right.
It wasn't made with
No
bad ingredients.
preservatives,
It wasn't
stuff
made
like
with bad
that.
ingredients. I
Right,
just need
exactly.
to warm it in the microwave. It was
Right.
made this morning. Give me a
Right,
break, right?
Exactly. But, like I said, I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of times that is an issue for some
Right.
people. But again, that's all about talking to people and saying, well, you know what, we have this. It doesn't need to be in
Right.
the microwave. Or if you are on a special diet, let us know because we're all trained in the various
can
diets.
modify
So
it,
if
right.
there's something that we're serving that has gluten in there, or if you're vegan and you don't, people that are vegan a lot of times will even have honey.
Mhm.
So just tell us, what
Right.
what
We'll
your
accommodate
parameters-
you,
right,
but we just
exactly.
need to know.
Right, exactly.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this message.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Coffee. I am Mark Cook. This is Keith Reynolds, and we're talking to Donna Wood from Health Haven. And Donna, one of the things that I want to make sure that everybody out there knows about is your nutrition counseling. It's one of the features of Health Haven that I think really, again, so many unique features at Health Haven, but this is another one that really sets you guys apart. So tell us a little bit about your nutritional counseling.
Okay. Well, I got my certification in nutritional counseling back in 1985. Long
Wow.
time. And mostly I did it just because, I wanted to know more. I wanted to make sure that I had the background to speak to people. The association I belong to, I have to do continuing education credits every year. And it also allows me to delve into a lot of different areas. I've taken courses on, macrobiotics, on color therapy, raw foods, you name it. I think you have to learn about those things in order to determine whether you want to incorporate that into how you're dealing with a client. So how it basically started was I had a lot of people come in the store and say, I really would love to talk to you on a one-to-one basis. And a lot of times people have some issues that they don't feel comfortable talking about in the middle of the store, whether it be their digestive and bowel health.
Right.
And so I started doing the counseling, and I think why I've been really successful with the counseling, because I try to make it really personalized. Meaning, I think a lot of nutritionists just hand people a diet and say, here's what you should eat.
Absolutely.
What I do is I give people a packet to fill out before they come in, and part of the packet is having them write down what they eat for 5 days. I tell people I don't need you to weigh things. I'm just trying to see what types of foods you're gravitating towards. When they return it to me, I don't say, wow, look at that food you're eating. No wonder why you can't lose weight.
Right.
What I say is, given what you're telling me you want to achieve, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to normalize your blood pressure, whether it's to clear up some skin problems or dealing with inflammation in your body, you see these foods over here? These foods are sabotaging your efforts to
Right.
achieve that. And what can we come up with together as a substitute for those foods? You see these foods over here that you're gravitating towards? These are really good. And we need to incorporate more of those
these,
foods.
right.
And I also say that it's baby steps. And you also have to meet people where they are. A good example, if I can, I was dealing with a woman who had very high blood pressure, couldn't get her blood pressure under control, even with the medication. Doctor suggested that she, look at her dietary habits. Grandmother who was taking care of her three grandchildren that she had custody of. All she could do to get the kids out of the house in the morning. Where she worked, the only place that she had could go to get something to eat was a Wawa. She worked at a regional post office, and that was
Okay.
the only place for her to get something to
Wawa
eat.
has a lot of options, but
But, to tell her to, well, you should really make yourself something in the morning to
Right.
take for lunch when, she's trying to get these 3 kids out the door, and God love her that she was in their lives.
Right.
So I went to the Wawa and just went through everything in Wawa, looked at the labels, and said, if this is your options, what you're choosing was really the very worst that
Right.
you could
You
choose.
could have chosen better.
Right. And again, that's what I try to do, is really make it personalized and understand that it's, again, we talk about, it's not a perfect scenario where just to tell people, well, you need to take the time, and we all know that. We should sit down.
Right.
We should prepare breakfast. We should give
Right,
thanks.
right,
We should
right,
eat in
right.
a calm
But
environment.
life's
Yes.
not like that.
Right, exactly.
It's
And
not.
we're running,
Right.
Here and there.
I mean, I have blood pressure. I have blood pressure. It runs in my family. I've had it since I was 24. I've been on medication, but I do agree with you. Like I try to eat at home. You're just going to get less preservatives and stuff
Right.
like that. But when I do eat out, I for the last maybe week or two, I did have the frequent Wawas, but like their avocado club sandwich.
Right.
Take the bacon off it. Guess what? I mean, there's
Right,
no
there's
cheese
a-
on it. There's lettuce,
Right.
tomatoes, and
Right.
avocado.
Right.
Right.
Instead of having
Yeah.
this strict thing, like, well, these are the foods that you should eat, and come on, get your act together.
Mhm.
Right.
Why can't you do it?
Right.
I think you lose a lot of people when you do that. Another quick example is I had a couple that were very overweight, and came to me, and they do take out like every night.
That's not
They
good.
well, but they've been doing that
That's
for
what
30
they
years.
do. Right.
That's
So
what they
I'm
do.
interested
So-
to hear the.
Right, so I didn't say, oh, well, that's why you're overweight. I said, look, we talked a little bit about whether they were open to maybe starting to cook more at home, and they were no.
They weren't.
They weren't.
Okay.
We haven't done it. Our stove is spotless. No,
Right.
forget.
Never been used.
So I said to him, you know what? Why don't you bring in your takeout menus and let's go over it together.
Right. Maybe we can make better choices.
Right. So the pink highlighter was, see these things here. These are again sabotaging your efforts to achieve what you're telling me, because it's always putting it back to them. These are the things that you're telling me you want to achieve.
Right.
My job is to help you do that, but within your framework. And you see these things over here that's in yellow? These are really good. And you go to these places all the time. They want to keep your business.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to help you.
Yeah.
So, if it's saying, could you, in a Chinese restaurant, could you make this without MSG?
Mhm.
Or could you put more vegetables in this?
Right.
Again, they want to keep you as a customer, and as long as you tell people, I'm experimenting with my diet, I'm trying to work on some things, instead of just saying a food is bad or why are you eating that way, it's coming to where people are and helping them achieve.
It's a
what they want to.
softer approach,
You know-
and that's what's really nice about it is that you don't need to bang people over the head, and you don't need to change everything you're doing right off the
Right.
bat. You can really work with people individually, and that is what makes everyone need to go to Health Haven,
You
right?
can
Right.
still go to Wawa.
You
too,
know
though.
what? But I feel like I'm being profiled when I go into Wawa because I see a fat guy walking in and they're saying, "That guy wants-
Cheesesteak.
Yeah, bacon.
Get him a cheesesteak with extra whiz.
They're not going with the healthy things. They're
Well,
saying, "Hey,
you can
buddy, I
walk
know
in
you
there
want
with
bacon."
a little note from your nutritionist
All
that says
right.
this is what
Health
you need.
Haven
right?
says I have to eat this. I'm sorry, I cannot have any extra bacon on there.
So websites, locations. We need to know everything
Yeah,
about
Okay,
it.
our
everything,
website is www.healthhaveninc.com. Our Hainesport store is on Route 38, 1381. We're in a long building that has hot yoga and a chiropractor and martial arts, and that's what's another great
Oh,
thing.
you're
is
on
that-
38?
Right.
We interviewed them.
Right,
Yeah,
you did, Sammy
Yeah.
and Eddie from the hot yoga.
Hot yoga,
And that's the
yeah.
other thing too, is it's like more like a destination place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then our other location is at 69 East Main Street in Moorestown, and we're right next to the Healthy Garden Restaurant. So again, you have the option of having something really healthy to eat and then come in and talk to us.
That's
So
great.
it was a pleasure having you come in.
Oh, well,
We'll
thank
have
you.
to
It's a
have you
pleasure
come back
being
in
here.
and talk about some of the few things.
Well, yeah, because I'm not talked out yet.
No, we got a couple
We're
more
just getting
things.
warmed up.
Yeah, right.
We got a couple more things we want you to come in and talk about.
I would love to do that.
We're going to be right back after this commercial, and finally we have Friday with Carol. I know everybody's been like, "Oh, I'm waiting for Carol," so she is out there and ready to come in.
She's in the house.
Coming
She's in
right
the
out.
house. All right, we'll be right back.